Hi, welcome to Chaotic Merriment. It has been a long time since I have uploaded much of anything here on YouTube, and I'm hoping to make a good start to the new year of 2023 with a small little cross stitch kit. This is Zero, the friendly ghost dog of Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a mini kit. It has 4 to 5 different pictures in it, and I decided to start off with Zero because he was only 3 or 4 colors. He's white, black, with an orange nose and a red collar, so wanted to do something kind of small and easy, a little bit simpler compared to some of the bigger stuff. My best friend got this kit for me back in 2020, and I've just kind of been sitting on it, waiting to use it. And since I need to get YouTube kicking again, I figured might as well do that and then do a little bit of a voiceover. Compared to most of my bigger projects that take me 2 to 3 weeks to kind of finish, this one only took me about 2.5 to 3 hours to complete. And even though it's a little rough, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I am using a 14 count Ida canvas, and I'm just using the threads that came with the kit. You'll see here that I am using the black, and then I will be changing the design up because I never actually follow the rules when I get any of these kits. And since it's a smaller one, I really wanted to add a whole bunch of details, even if I did already mess up. But, it's okay. I don't know about y'all, but 2022 was a roller coaster year for me. I had a whole bunch of plans for YouTube, had a whole bunch of projects lined up, everything from cooking, baking, a couple other embroidery and cross-stitching projects, and then I didn't end up doing any of them. Instead, I ended up picking up a second job to help me get a ticket to go to Korea. This summer, I was able to go to Busan, South Korea to catch up with a friend of mine from college who I haven't seen in 4 years. She took me to all sorts of places. Most of them I cannot pronounce, and I don't really want to bother butchering them, and I don't want to risk offending anybody. So just know that I ate lots of good food. I got to see gorgeous views that I don't think I would ever be able to see in the United States. And I got to meet very sweet and very kind people, as well as her family. So it was just an overall wonderful experience, as well as a very hot one, as it was for, I'm pretty sure, everyone all over the world this year. I think this year was the hottest summer it's been for everyone. And in South Korea, it especially was because they have humidity. So you've got that mountain meets ocean humidity, and oh man, great time, hot experience. Would recommend to go in probably the springtime or a cooler month, but overall I was still pretty happy with everything that I got to do and everything I got to see while I was there. So after making some great memories in South Korea and making some friends at the second job and coming back to the United States, I jumped back into the swing of things and just started working 2 jobs and staying insanely busy and not really doing anything with YouTube. I've been making lists and lists and lists of things that I want to do for YouTube, but haven't really had much of a chance to kind of sit down and actually work on them. So just to kind of catch up for anybody interested or anybody watching, I celebrated my 2nd anniversary with my husband, so that was fun. We have been together as of 2023. We have officially been together for 6 years. However, we have been married for 2, so lots of learning experiences, lots of fun times. Last year, at the tail end of 2022, I became an aunt, so now I'm learning what that life is about. I've always had aunts and uncles, and now I finally get to be one, so that's pretty exciting. I have also gained a little bit more confidence in my writing, so This has been a bit of a challenge, but I feel like I have finally broken away from that academic mold and I'm really sinking into a more creative part of it with the little time that I do get to write, but I'm a lot more happy with my writing now than what I was when I started writing again in 2020. So, who knows? Maybe this year I'll actually try to publish something. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell on that one. So, you remember how I said I had all those lists of things that I really wanted to do for YouTube last year? Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to do some of them for, this year on YouTube, but we'll see how much actually gets done. I do have quite a few goals and quite a few projects lined up for this year that I hope that I'll be able to accomplish. So, like, one of the bigger ones that I'm hoping to achieve is to revamp the shed I have in my backyard, have it as a she shed slash a YouTube space. So, I could have it as a sewing room, a craft space, all of that, so I can work on all of my YouTube projects out there and not have to worry too much about, like, my wonderful little fur babies because I have two huskies and three cats and not have to worry about them really getting into those projects. So that would be really, really nice. Like, that is one I would ideally, this is very ideally, life has a way of happening and changing things up, so it may not be what I want, but I'm hoping at least by June or July, I might have it kind of done and built up again, because that would be oodles and oodles of funness and just everything else I want to do. However, there's also things like Renaissance fairs. I have actually recently discovered that there's a couple in the area. So I'm in Alabama. I'm not going to say which one, but from one's closest to me, I could go to Georgia or I can go to Greenville, Alabama to go to these Ren fairs. And I am hoping to attend one or two or maybe even three of them that's close enough to me. And I want to dress up. I want to dress up so bad and like create my first costume to attend to these. So, really geeking out, really looking forward to just a lot of things rolling into 2023. And speaking of like costumes and making things, this year I think is going to be my sewing journey year. While I can do things like embroidery and cross stitch, as you're kind of potentially watching if you've lasted this long, there's only so much actual sewing I've done. I've done plenty of patches, done iron on patches, and I've made pillows. But to the extent of like actually creating a garment to be worn, I've not done that yet, so I am really hoping this will be the year where that just kind of kicks off because who knows? Maybe I'll start doing cosplay and start hitting up a couple of cons and competing in competitions. Like, that is a dream of mine, just something you always want to do as a teenager. And now that I have an adult job with adult money, I'm hoping to achieve some of those, just to finally say that I did it for really nobody else's sake but my own. So these are things I'm really excited about. Other things I'm hoping I can do this year is throw in a couple baking episodes, maybe a couple cooking videos. Something else, like once I get the she shed done, maybe do a couple room tours, do like a fabric haul or some decorating hauls, like I see a couple of other YouTubers do. Um, I don't know. I find those interesting, and I know if I find it interesting, somebody else surely will. So we'll just have to see where that goes. I'm still working on quite a few things in regards to YouTube. Even though it's very much personal and definitely specifically for my hobbies, I would love to kind of branch out and make it something maybe more specific or just to help it grow in its own little way. So I have things I need to work out, like setup and editing, and just how I want my channel to grow and what I want it to exactly be. But I'll get there. It'll probably develop on its own, or if not, it'll just be my little hobby space, which I'm also okay with. So, yeah, that's pretty much my life in a year in a nutshell. But 2023 is looking a lot more promising than last year. And I don't know. I said this kind of last year or the year before, one of those years where I said, kind of have a piece about the plans that I've made moving forward. But I'm also aware plans change, life changes. So, who knows? Like, even though I've made these plans and I feel pretty comfortable where I'm at, I have a feeling my plans are not going to go exactly the way I want. However, I'll do my best. So, what about y'all? Do any of y'all have any plans, any goals, any resolutions? Are any of y'all actually able to keep up with those? Or are you like the general population, I'm gonna do this, and then you lose the motivation and the focus kind of later on? I'm kind of 50-50 there. Like, there's some goals I know I'll be able to achieve, and then there's others where I'm like, I have to be very committed, and I think I'll need a little bit more time than what I currently have to truly achieve those. So, I don't know. We will see. One of the things I'm hoping to do to kind of help um, keep track of my goal, it's something I saw on TikTok, and it's something I'm like, it's a great physical thing to kind of see, where you take a pretty rock or a shiny pebble or like one of those um, pretty pieces of glass that you would normally put in a vase of fake flowers. You take a jar, and like each day you've achieved your goal, or you've gone like so many days doing something, you just drop one or two of those pebbles or pretty rocks into the jar to help keep track of it. And it's like a physical reminder of, oh, look how far I've come. I'm wanting to do something similar like that with my diet, with my weight, and just a couple of other things going on in my life. Again, we will see how well I'll be able to achieve and to attain these goals. They are achievable and they are attainable, but we will see. As we're reaching the end of the video, we're getting into my favorite part of cross stitching, where it's outlining after you've gone through the whole process of doing all of the colors. And it's as I'm outlining that I realized, man, I should have just gone straight for the white and then outlined it all in black instead of doing the black first. But even though I've been doing this for a while, I still make mistakes. And since this is a small one and it's for me and not for somebody else, I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, it's my favorite part because it just really pulls it all together. It just makes things cleaner. It's kind of magical in a very weird and small way. And then I love the final result after I've outlined things. If you manage to stick around for this long and just listen to my rambles and just watch me make this, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you took the time to sit here and to watch and to listen to me. I know it's nothing particularly special or nothing very important or anybody wants to really hear, but thanks for sticking around anyways. I really enjoy making things, and I hope you will enjoy watching me make things as 2023 comes for all of us. I hope it's a good year for me, for you, for your best friend, for your cat, your dog, your armadillo, your pet, whatever you have. I hope 2023 is the year for me, year for you, just an improvement from the last 2 years. It already feels like it's going to be a good year, and I just hope that'll continue. There's something about a new year, having that clean slate. I mean, yes, the prior year kind of lingers and sticks with us, but there's something about a new year with the promise of endless possibilities that makes it a little bit more bearable. So, thanks so much for watching, and if you feel like sticking around, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want, tell me what your goals are and how you achieve them, or how you actually manage to keep up with them. I'm actually interested in reading what you do. So, thanks so much, and I hope you have a happy new year.